All right, first up, those demonstrations that are being held right now across the country in support of Trayvon Martin. Our correspondents are covering the rallies from coast to coast. Let's begin with Nick Valencia in Miami. Trayvon Martin's father at the rally, and you spoke with him one-on-one earlier. What did he say?
Yeah, Fred, it was a very emotional time for him at the microphone. He teared up talking about his son, talking about the legacy of his son, saying he will fight until his death to make sure that his son's memory is not forgotten. He also told those in attendance, hundreds and hundreds in attendance, that he will also fight for their children. Just take a listen to what he had to say when I asked him how he felt about the overwhelming support.
It's overwhelming. It just goes to show the love and the support that our families and friends have for us here in Miami as well as across the country. And it sends a message to the nation that we're not going to sit back and let our children be killed and don't say anything about it.
And Fred, the message here in Florida is a very clear one. They want an amendment to the Stand Your Ground law. Some people here want that law to be completely wiped away. Across the nation, it is a two-pronged approach. They also want the Department of Justice to intervene in the George Zimmerman case. They want civil rights charges filed against George Zimmerman. Fred?
Nick Valencia in Miami, thank you so much. Let's go to New York now. That's where we find our Alina Cho, Trayvon Martin's mother. Will be appearing at the rally. We also understand that she spoke earlier ahead of the rally. Let's go to Alina.
Frederica, what a surprise. Just a couple of minutes ago, Beyonce and Jay-Z arrived at this rally here at One Police Plaza in New York City. Of course, Sabrina Fulton, the mother of Trayvon Martin, due to be the headliner. There are two additional headliners here now, and we are hearing that both Beyonce and Jay-Z will take to the podium. They will give remarks today. From what I can tell behind me, a couple of hundred people appear to be here at this rally today. Of course, it is one of more than 100 across the city that is planned by the National Action Network, led by the Reverend Al Sharpton. We understand that Sharpton and Sabrina Fulton, along with her surviving son, are on their way down to this rally right now, due to arrive at any moment. And of course, we will bring you more on this as they come to and take to the podium later today. Frederica?
All right, we'll check back with you. Thanks so much, Alina Cho in New York. All right, let's go to the nation's capital now. That's where we find Athena Jones. Athena organizers there demanding the federal government prosecute George Zimmerman on civil rights violations. That really is the mantra across the country at many of these demonstrations. But are people talking about the real likelihood of that happening there in Washington?
Hi, Frederica. That's right. If you talk to legal experts, they say there's a very high bar for the federal government to bring civil rights charges in this case. They'd have to show that George Zimmerman acted out of a sense of racial hatred or animus when he shot Trayvon Martin. And, you know, they've been down there investigating. The federal investigators have been down there for more than a year. They've been interviewing witnesses, talking to folks who know George Zimmerman. But the bottom line is they would have to find evidence that was not found and presented in the state trial. So it could be a high bar there. But nevertheless, you have all these people gathered. A couple of hundred people are out here. I don't know if you remember an hour ago what a difference an hour makes. Lots more people are out here. It is very, very hot, I should tell you. Many people are standing under the shade of trees. It's in the mid-80s here. It feels like it's in the mid-90s. The speeches are about to begin. Members of Congress have been invited. Faith leaders are expected to speak. And I can tell you that one of the other goals here of this rally today is to make people aware of, if they aren't already, these Stand Your Ground laws. Make sure they know what states they're in and work to repeal them and change them in the states where they exist. So many issues being discussed today at this event in D.C., Frederica.
Athena Jones, thanks so much. Keep us posted there from the nation's capital. Let's go to the West Coast now. Dan Simon is in Los Angeles. So, Dan, protests earlier this week turned violent. You've got a lot more people who have converged behind you compared to just an hour ago. What's the mood? What's the tone?
It's very upbeat. They're stressing that this is going to be a very peaceful rally. They've been working very closely with the Los Angeles Police Department. Just a moment ago, they had a moment of silence. Right now, there's some speakers at the podium. I'm going to introduce you to one person who came here today. This is Donna Wade, who is a Los Angeles resident. Donna, can you explain why you felt so strongly about being out here today?
Because as a community, we need to come together and we need to support justice for Trayvon.
What's the message that you want to send?
that we need to do it in a peaceful manner and that we need to be organized, and we need to make sure that we do follow through on what we're going to do so that justice does happen for Trayvon Johnson.
Thank you very much, Donna. Obviously, they chose the courthouse for a very good reason, because obviously they won a federal case against George Zimmerman. And if you come back to me, Demir, you can see this is what they're giving folks who come to the rally. People are getting T-shirts. We want justice. That, of course, is the main message here. This is going to be going on, I guess, for the next hour or so. And a few hundred protesters. And again, they're stressing that this is going to be a very peaceful demonstration, and we'll keep bringing you live updates as things get rolling along here in Los Angeles. Fred, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Dan Simon, there in Los Angeles. All right, welcome back. It's being called Justice for Trayvon Day in about 100 American cities. Right now, live pictures of a demonstration in that vein unfolding right now in Sanford, Florida, where the George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin case began. They're in Sanford, Florida, 1 week now after the not guilty verdict in the George Zimmerman trial. We'll keep a close watch on all of the demonstrations taking place across the country. You heard the president yesterday also imploring that as these rallies take place, any kind of violence would be a dishonor to Trayvon Martin. So all have been very peaceful, but of course, very emotional for all those involved. We'll take you to various cities across the country as they unfold. Right now, rallies are underway across the country, marking what organizers are calling a National Justice for Trayvon Day. Demonstrators are urging the federal government to prosecute George Zimmerman for civil rights violations. The protests are being held in more than 100 cities. Right now, you're looking at pictures from Miami, and you also saw, I think, some pictures from Orlando, Florida as well.